at ZMT we had developed a scientific simulation model for coral reefs, which is actually two-dimensional, which integrates a lot of scientific details, which is quite hard to understand if you just look at the output, the graphs, the 2D interface. So our idea, or actually my idea, was to develop some kind of visualization of the project, of the outcomes. So this was the first motivation, and then we looked for partners around who could either assist us or who could take over part of the visualization, and then we came to the university. Coral reefs actually only form a very tiny part of the marine ocean. However, they have very, very high biodiversity. For instance, more than 4,000 species of fish are in coral reefs. They are very important for local people. There are more than 400 million people living in the vicinity of the regions with coral reefs. They provide a lot of ecosystem services, ecosystem goods. For instance, people need the protein from fishing in coral reefs. There's a high or a substantial part of fisheries comes from coral reefs. So they're important for tourism. It's biodiversity for one instance, but it's also multiple use of coral reefs. So it's a tiny part, but it's very, very important for biodiversity and use. So coral reefs are very much endangered from two major threats on two different levels. So first one is global climate change. An increase in temperature is a very significant threat to coral reefs because water temperature get too high, coral reefs bleach, and this very often leads to a die-off of coral reef, massive die-off, as we had in the Great Barrier Reef, when the northern part more than 90% died off in the last year. So this is a major threat on the global level. And on the local level, we have very often overuse of coral reefs, too intensive destructive fishing. We have got pollution. So there's a lot which can also be done on the local level. SICOM is a scientific tool for simulating interactions in coral reefs. Actually, it represent the development of corals and their interaction with algae, which is one of the most important processes in coral reefs, and also the reaction to different disturbances. For instance, temperature increase, which I just mentioned as one of the most important threats, but also changes in herbivory, so in fish community, fisheries, and also mechanical disturbances. Maybe another important thing about coral reefs, they take very, very long to grow. So a coral grows between a few millimeters and maximum of 10 centimeters a year, single coral. But to develop coral reefs as a structure which are important for biodiversity, it takes hundreds of years. So if coral reefs are gone and maybe only a small part or small regions are left with coral reefs, it will take very, very long for them to establish again. And we will lose a lot of marine biodiversity for one thing. So a lot of species will be gone which depend on coral reefs. And people in tropical regions will lose a lot of very important sources for livelihood, for living, for protein, and also for coastal protection, for instance. So that was actually the motivation to create a representation of the model which is easy to understand and which somehow also emphasizes the beauty and importance of coral reefs.